Hi, I'm Michael. Nice to welcome you to my channel. Give me a like and subscribe. That way, you won't miss any new exciting stories. Good luck, everybody. Let's go. My son's performance in school was never outstanding, but something changed when he entered the 8th grade. Although I never used physical punishment or scolded him for bad grades, I always emphasized the importance of education and the bright future it can bring. Both my wife and I have 2 degrees each. I work as a lawyer in a reputable company, and she teaches philosophy. Education is valued in our families, and all of us have managed to get a good position in life. However, my son seemed to lack motivation. I tried to set an example for him by showing him how I lived independently in a nice 2-bedroom apartment, emphasizing that without an education, his children might not have the same opportunities. I repeated this thought so often that it seemed to resonate with him, and he began to be more diligent about his studies. His ultimate dream was to work for a foreign company where English was required. Since he had never studied before and lacked knowledge, I had to hire a tutor. At first, I tried to teach him myself, but since I am not an educator and have no specialized techniques, I started looking for online tutors in schools. However, it was hard for me to trust them completely. To gather more information, I consulted my work colleagues about their children's learning experiences. Jessica is also learning English, and she has a wonderful teacher who comes highly recommended to me. She has the qualities I need and speaks fluently as a native speaker. In addition, the cost of her services is reasonable and fully meets my requirements. Without hesitation, I got her contact information and called her after work. The tutor's name was Grace, and her voice was soothing, melodic, and gentle. I immediately liked the idea of tutoring with her. We agreed to start lessons the following week. The first lesson took me by surprise. I was greeted by my son and a young woman in her 20s. She was incredibly attractive, slender and tall, with dark brown eyes and hair. My son's embarrassment was visible from a mile away, and mine even more so. My son made up for several years at once in 2 hours, and we could not lose such a teacher. Months went by. Summer was approaching, and we had closer and closer communication with the young specialist. Now, after every lesson, she would have tea with us, maybe even have dinner, pop in for family events. In general, everything was perfect. Everyone liked her very much. But one day, Grace called me and told me that we had to have a serious conversation. She invited me to her house to discuss something. Until the moment of our meeting, I was terribly nervous. Suddenly, my son did something, and I do not know. Maybe the payment didn't go through, or my wife said something unpleasant afterwards. I was walking to her apartment on wobbly legs. I couldn't feel the ground beneath me. When I knocked, the door was opened by a girl in a transparent negligee. I didn't expect such a surprise and went further into the corridor. "Michael, if you want me to continue teaching my son, you'll have to pay more than just money. He's a capable boy, but you know how much energy I spend on him. I don't have a man. Where do I restore them?" Making a pitiful face, I had to agree to her proposal and go to the bedroom. After all, you can't do anything for your son.